Don't ask me to talk.
From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Join me, Stacey Heller,
And me, Eric Ryder.
as we talk about what's good to watch, read, see, listen to, and more.
An edutaining 1 hour break in your day that includes the segment, What Are We Eating? Sponsored by Dingfelder's Delicatessen.
Stick with us for something good. Hey, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of Don't Ask Me to Talk on Kixie. I am Stacey Heller. I am joined, of course, by my co-host.
That's me, Eric Ryder.
So, happy belated birthday.
Hey, thank you so much.
You're welcome. So, Eric's birthday was last Sunday, and just to keep in theme with our show, I got him a pumpkin, loaf cake, right?
Kind of like a Swiss roll
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, it was delicious. Thank you so much. That was nice.
Of course, I'm like, as we get older, like people stop celebrating like birthdays in the same way, and so it's nice when somebody makes a random fuss that's unexpected.
It was definitely a random fuss, and I definitely appreciated it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm actually just, it's because I love you.
Aw.
Anyway, so as you can tell, if you're new to listening, clearly this is not going to be a hard-hitting news show that you're about to enjoy. No, we are an alternative to all of that adulting news and madness and mayhem that's going on in the real world. We like to focus on the edutaining stuff that's out there. You know, a little bit of education and a lot of entertainment.
We're just trying to have some fun and not hurt anybody at the same time.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. So those of you that are listening, thank you so much. Maybe you listen to the podcast. Thank you so much. Remember, you can find the show wherever you listen to podcasts, and we would love it if you would subscribe, rate it, or even comment. Like, send a happy birthday to Eric. You would love that. I'm sure he wouldn't really. He does not love attention.
Just put it on your calendar for next year and then go ahead. But, last week, we debuted the special at Dingfelder's Delicatessen, where you could ask for the Eric special on your birthday, and that means you'll get a free sandwich. So, be sure you have your ID so you can prove to fans that it's your birthday, but ask for the Eric special and you get a free sandwich at
totally
Dingfelder's.
I mean, like, how cool is it that you and I are like, we're making things happen? Like, next we can make a holiday happen.
I love it. And the best thing about that is I don't pick the sandwich.
Right.
You get to pick the sandwich.
Right. You don't have to eat the sandwich that maybe
That's right.
you like. You get to pick whatever. It's your birthday. You're just invoking Eric's name.
Right.
So, so you're welcome in advance. If you would like to connect with us, of course, feel free to shoot us a message or a voicemail. You can call 475-999-2726.
That's right. Also known as 475-99-YA-RAM.
That's right. Like young adult RAM.
Yeah, sure. Neither of us are young adults, but why not?
Yeah. So, and we're just going to ram you with good stuff.
That's right.
Speaking of good stuff.
Careful now.
I know, right? I know, so crazy and scandalous. It is time for Ridiculous High Holidays.
Happy holidays.
Exactly. That part of the show where we talk about holidays that basically somebody completely made up. Kind of like the Eric sandwich deal.
That's right.
I mean, somebody has the power, and if you have the power, why wouldn't you take it?
Use it for good.
Exactly. So today it is, speaking of sandwiches, although this is not in honor of the sandwich, it is International Reuben Day.
Interesting.
Right. Which, no acknowledgement.
I can't think of any famous Reubens. Maybe Reuben Studdard from American Idol. Wasn't that a guy?
The painter, Rubens.
Right, but that's his last
name. Well, but that's
one.
Okay. It's still the name, right? And I dated a guy in high school whose name was Lee Rubin. Haley, wherever you are. So I don't know. I don't know a lot of people named Reuben.
All right. Well, I'm looking at a list of the most famous Reubens in the world, and I've never heard of any of these Reubens.
I mean, Paul Reubens, like Pee Wee Herman.
Right, but again,
it's the last name. I know, but I mean, first name, last name. Anyway, hey, all of you Reubens out there.
Yeah, so I'm glad you got a day, even though we've never heard of any of you.
Yeah, so good for you. On the national level, today is the Great American Smokeout. Now, it's a day, I guess, that the National Cancer Society.
Yeah, I remember this was a big thing when I was growing up. A lot more people smoked, and the National Smokeout Day was like, or Great American Smokeout was. It sounds like you're doing a barbecue or something.
I know, right?
but it was like a day for smokers to give up smoking
for a day,
or at least start. Yeah. And hopefully that giving it up for a day would lead to you give it up for a lifetime.
What's weird about this is as a kid, when they were able to advertise cigarettes in magazines and stuff, yes, I'm that old, I would cut out the little...
They still are able to advertise in magazines. I think it used to be that you could do it on the radio and TV, and that's no longer the case. But okay. I think you'll still find, if you can find a magazine.
Well, there is that.
You may still find smokers ads in there and billboards and stuff too.
Interesting. Well, so my dad and my mom smoked. I mean, my mom like proudly talks about how, in 7th grade or 8th grade, if you made the honor roll, then you were allowed to go out in the parking lot and smoke. I'm like, huh? So,
Wow.
Right. Different time, different generation. She
Absolutely.
Also, like, on her 30th birthday, she was very pregnant with me. And there's a picture of her on her 30th birthday on a table in a very short skirt with a cigarette in one hand and her scotch in the other, which really explains so much about me. But anyway.
Sucking down some cancer sticks.
Right?
Wow.
Exactly. So being of that generation, and having the Great American Smokeout, the reason I picked this holiday is because I feel like I'm part of this generation where, we knew enough to tell our parents stop smoking, like they didn't know better. And now we've given birth to a generation of kids that it's like, it's vaping. Like, how bad could it be? And I'm like, have we learned nothing? So.
Yeah, true enough. So were you ever a smoker?
So I smoked for about a month in high school. I decided that I was going to smoke. That's going to be cool. I pretty much, because my mom didn't care because she smoked, my friends would all give me their cigarettes and I would have them in my room. And I would come home and my mother was like smoking my friend's cigarettes. Anyway, yeah, it's weird. And I remember sitting on my front porch and like teaching myself how to smoke. And I was able to blow a smoke ring. I was in like select smoking.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I went straight to the top. And then smoked at a party like 3 weeks later. And then I met a guy and he was not interested in smooching me if I had smoky breath. And I was like, cute boy that wants to kiss me or smoking. And I never looked back.
I think you made the right choice.
Yep. I will take the cute boy that wants to smooch over a cigarette any day. So I have priorities and I've stuck with them.
Well, good for you.
What about you? Did you ever smoke?
I never smoked. Again, I like that cute boy. I thought that cigarettes smelled awful. The residual smoke, and when it was in people's breaths, it was like, oh, disgusting. Yes.
Did your parents smoke?
No. My mom, I guess, for a brief period, did it like socially, like at parties or whatever.
Right.
But she tells the story of me being a toddler and finding cigarettes in her purse at the grocery store and then like throwing a fit and really embarrassing her by going, why, Mom, how could you smoke? And
wow.
And then, apparently.
You shamed her.
Apparently I shamed her and she didn't smoke after that. But I don't remember that. So there may be some mom exaggeration happening there.
I mean,
but
honestly, own it. Good for
but
you.
But it's entirely probable that that's true. Yeah.
I took all of those magazine ads and I took the Surgeon General's warning and I cut it out and I worked like so hard on getting dozens of those little white strips that said, Surgeon General's warning, smoking could be hazardous to your health. And my poor dad, like, he would go to brush his teeth and like the Surgeon General's warning would like be wrapped around his toothbrush, or he'd go to pour coffee in his mug and it would be at the bottom. Like, that point with with your parents where you push it too far and it went from getting the message to like, now I'm just mad at you. Yeah, I took it to that point.
So they had a Surgeon General warning for you.
Yeah, pretty
if
much.
You keep this up.
I'm going to kick you into next week. Yeah. So
we both shamed our parents out of smoking. So
pretty much.
I'm not saying we're heroes, but
I mean,
we might have saved a couple lives.
Exactly. And you know what? Not all heroes wear capes. So.
That's right.
Okay, and then the other random day that I decided to pick, because I thought this was kind of funny, is Unfriend Day, which Jimmy Kimmel started in 2010 with the advent of all the different social media platforms. This whole idea of like, do you need to be friends with some of these people who, perhaps
quote unquote friends.
Friends, exactly. Yeah. Especially on Facebook or Meta or whatever you want to call it, that if it drives you crazy to see their views, not that I encourage you to be in an echo chamber, but like maybe you should just let them like go off and do their own thing and save the judgment. And if it really bothers you, you can unfriend.
That's right.
Right? You have the power. And it doesn't have to be some big statement that you make. You just quietly unfriend them and like they don't know.
The other handy thing, at least on Facebook, is you can unfollow. So you don't have to unfriend that drama queen that may see, or king, drama kings out there too, that may see your unfriended status and, cause some drama over it.
Right.
If you unfollow, you're still technically friends, quote unquote. But you don't have to see their content in your feed at all. So
there's something for every type of friend. You can be the passive-aggressive friend. You can be the aggressive friend, whatever.
That's right.
The point is you get to choose your friends. And thank you, Jimmy Kimmel, for making this a holiday. And then a quick shout out to RuPaul. Happy birthday, Ru. There you go.
All right.
Okay. So, regrets. Any regrets? Any YouTube channels that you're like, darn it?
I had one, and and just like last week, I forgot it. So it's going to continue to be a regret.
There you go. All right. Well, we'll just keep reminding you. So the only thing I have to say is I can't remember if I brought him up or not, but there's this guy who is like a young influencer or whatever who has a channel. His name is Joey Graceffa. I don't know how I got into following him, truly. However, he fosters puppies and kittens. And right now, he's helping raise 11 golden retrievers with his ex. They had a dog together. His ex got custody of the dog, and the dog got pregnant. And they are raising these puppies. So if you're somebody that likes the whole puppies and kittens and like watching the whole birthing process and watching them grow up, and you want some good, wholesome content, check it out. It's so cute. And you learn a lot about how animals are born. So, see, this is the educational part of the program.
I like to watch them after they're born, but I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about what we think is the best holiday food, which is going to be tough.
Yeah, there's so much good stuff.
Exactly. We'll be right back. Stacy Connects. It's not just my business, it's my superpower. Whether you need the right tone and messaging for a new venture, or you've plateaued with your current one, I can help. I connect clients with themselves and their potential. Then, I identify unique solutions that translate your brand into messaging that connects your target audience with your business. Go to stacyconnects.com to connect with me and your messaging.
Interested in learning something new? Meeting someone new? Find out things that we have in common? Well, of course you are. You're a human being. So let's get intentional about it. Join me, JDK Winnikin, every week and get all of that in less than an hour. I'm a writer, a historian, a social commentator, and my show is all about you. Really, that's what it's called. This show is all about you. Get my perspectives on the week's news and hear fascinating guests whose stories will inspire and move you. My show is all about giving you something that connects us. Join me Mondays on Kixie 880 at 3 p.m. or download it as a podcast.
Can't get enough of Stacey and Eric? Then be sure and check out Stacey Connects with Stacey Heller wherever you find podcasts. Stacey chats with guests about a variety of topics, hoping to make a connection through conversation.
Welcome back to Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm Stacey, joined, of course, by Eric.
That's right.
So this, in hindsight, is like such a broad topic, like best holiday food.
Oh, yeah. And considering we got about 20 minutes to talk about it, we're only going to scratch the surface, of course.
Totally. So, it's how do you pick which holiday?
Right. I was going to say, I mean, when we talk about holidays this time of year, typically we're talking about Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, and maybe some Hanukkah for our Jewish friends, maybe some Kwanzaa for folks that celebrate that. But neither of us grew up celebrating Kwanzaa or Hanukkah, so we're probably mostly going to talk about our Thanksgiving and Christmas favorites.
Yeah, maybe we can ask Vance about at least the Hanukkah piece. And
yeah, absolutely. And our listeners out there,
yeah,
if you want to share your favorite holiday dish, by all means, do text us 475-999-CRAM. Cram that text right into our phone line or cram a voicemail in there. We would really love to hear from you. And, if you're okay with sharing recipes, by all means, we'd love to hear your favorite recipe.
Totally. Okay, so we've narrowed it down to basically like a fall into the new year holiday, right?
Right. I mean, you could mention like Easter has a food component.
Yeah, but
and
it just feels wrong right now.
Halloween's got candy component, not really even a food component. So, I mean, when you think about those other holidays, maybe 4th of July, you're grilling stuff. I think we'll probably end up talking about those as we get closer to those holidays. Thanksgiving is next week, which
I know,
blows
right?
my mind when I think about this, that we're 7 days from Thanksgiving already.
I am
in the year
prepared.
2022, which just sounds like a made-up year from that,
I'm so with you.
We'd be setting a movie in the distant future, in the 90s or something.
Well, I mean,
but
Prince
here we are
singing about like party like it's 1999, and I remember when I was young enough to be like, "That's so far away," ha ha ha. Now I'm like, "That was so long ago," ha ha ha.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could remember what it was like back in 1999, I'd be able to party like it, I think.
Exactly.
Right.
Wear purple.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I want to add about this is I find that when I was thinking about this topic, like tradition and memories was like came into all of it. That it's like, it may not be the fanciest food, or it may not even be something that's like what somebody else would consider decadent. But when I thought about like, okay, best holiday food, it really came from a place of like the memories associated or the people that I spent the time with or the tradition of it.
Yeah, agreed. Now, I'm sure some fancy people probably have, great memories of dining out on it. We went to Greenblatt's for Thanksgiving and we had the finest, prime rib or whatever. I don't know about you, but we always spent it with family, home cooked meal for both Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yep.
So, the dishes that I'm down with or think fondly of were all cooked by family members or now, myself. So let's just start, I guess, with Thanksgiving, since, again, next week.
Oh my gosh.
What's your favorite part of the Thanksgiving meal?
So probably if I only had the turkey, I love turkey. I don't love it all the time, but like a roasted turkey.
Yeah.
big fan. Mashed potatoes. Love mashed potatoes. And part of that, again, is the memory and tradition because growing up, my mom used like potato buds.
Okay.
And then I learned how to make.
Now, is that like the instant potatoes? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like my mom is.
Easy doing.
She is many things, but she is not a cook. And so when I learned how to make mashed potatoes from Mrs. Poland, God rest her soul, I took over and it was like, that's it. Off to the races. Now we make homemade. So that is a key component.
Love mashed potatoes.
Right.
Let me ask you this. Do you do like the straight up, like salt, pepper, butter, or do you, I love garlic potatoes myself. So I do garlic mash when I'm making it.
So I have been known to do that, but not on Thanksgiving because it feels, I don't know why, it feels wrong. But I do add sour cream and cream cheese.
Ah, okay.
Because I kind of like
I
the
like
tart,
that too. Yeah,
like
the creaminess.
thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pumpkin bread is a huge memory, and like the original Native Americans and Pilgrims, chocolate pudding pie.
Right. Yes.
So those are like the things that I loved, like the
that
olive
came over
tray.
on the Mayflower, right?
Totally,
the
it
chocolate
did.
pudding pie.
Right, right. Along with all the citrus, so nobody got scurvy. And the olive tray, where I could put an olive on every finger, and my mother was not at all horrified by that demonstration of table manners. So those are like my top things off my menu.
Yeah, those are all classics for sure.
What about you?
Yeah, well, I'd say probably my favorite is dark meat turkey. I love some dark meat turkey. I'm all about those thighs. I'm all about those drumsticks. But turkey in general is really good. And I already shared, I think, on the previous show that my favorite leftover for the holidays is making that turkey sandwich. With a little bit of cranberry sauce and, lettuce, tomatoes, and turkey and cheese. So, like, even eating the turkey on Thanksgiving, I'm thinking ahead to, this is going to be a great sandwich later.
So with you.
Yeah.
It's like, don't eat too much of it because I need more.
But, yeah, I love the mashed potatoes, and I do the garlic mashed potatoes.
Do you roast the garlic first?
No. I use, like... garlic cloves, and sometimes I'll buy it like pre-cubed or whatever.
Try roasting your garlic.
Yeah, that's a good tip too.
Do it.
It just all depends on how much time.
Well, but you could do it like you could do it tonight.
Well, that's
and
true.
And then set it aside and mix it in. It brings like such an earthy, rich flavor to it.
I will try that for sure.
Okay. So mashed potatoes.
Yep, and you got to have the turkey. You got to have the mashed potatoes. I like some stuffing, and you got to have a good pie afterwards. And I've talked about this on the show, too, that I like pumpkin pie a lot more now than I used to.
Totally.
But I love having the option of a slice of fruit pie. Apple? I prefer the berry, but I'm happy with apple as well.
So it's funny because with the berry, I remember it being like fruits of the forest or something versus like apple and some of the other, like sometimes a berry pie can seem off season. So I remember like the whole fruits of the forest thing sounds so much more autumnal. And meanwhile, it's like, who are we really kidding? It's like blackberries, blueberries, raspberries.
Right. Well, my grandma used to make like the best blackberry pie. And I was just so in love with this pie and getting it on Thanksgiving. And, then one year it wasn't there at Thanksgiving. And I was like, Grandma, what happened to the blackberry pie? And, she was like, well, I used to go over to my brother's and get the blackberry pies over there, or get the blackberries for the pie over there. But then he chopped down all the blackberry bushes.
Oh.
So no more pie.
Oh, my gosh.
So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then, of course, it hits me like 5 minutes later that you can get blackberries. You can source blackberries from many other places, Grandma.
Right.
But, she was the boss. She was the cook. So I couldn't complain because, I wasn't doing the cooking. And that's a whole process, making a pie. This is
a
lot of work. Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's like you instantly have memories about things as they're related. Pete, growing up, had mince pie.
Mince pie for
And-
Thanksgiving or
Yep.
Christmas?
For Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And they would use like the canned mince.
Mhm.
And then I, of course, was like, that sounds disgusting. Like the good supportive new bride that I was.
I bet it was really good.
Sure. You know what? You probably would love it.
But have you had like mincemeat pie
I tried it.
and you didn't like it?
I'm
Because to me, it's like pecan pie. It's very similar to pecan pie, but
right. It's very
without the nuts, basically.
So, yes, and I'm not a fruit pie person and all of that. Like, to me, it's like, do not hand me a fruit dessert. I'm like, that is not dessert. That is like the course that you have with like your cheese and the port after the meal. That is not dessert. So he started doing it without the can because he got bougie there for a while in the 2000s, and does it with apples and raisins and golden raisins and pecans and, you know.
Sounds pretty good.
It smells like, I actually really want to like it because it smells so epic. I just don't like it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Well,
anyway.
you know, after the blackberry pie fiasco, my mom actually took over making pies for a while, and she came up with a baked coconut pie that is so good.
Wow.
That I've never seen it anywhere else but when Mom has made it. And
Is it like coconut cream?
no, it's baked coconut. So it's like coconut flakes with like butter and sugar, and it's really dense, but it's so delicious. And she does a chocolate one sometimes too, chocolate coconut.
We need the
It's
recipe.
like eating a Mounds bar basically, in pie form. It's so good. It really is. But I've even at the time I could say this looks like a lot of work. So I've never replicated that recipe. But one of these days I'll
Okay,
get on Mom to
recipe.
get the recipe because it's delicious.
Yeah. Hey, Eric's mom. Love the recipe. I mean, and I'll bet it's like pecan pie. Like pecan pie, you can have the tiniest sliver, like
Right.
because it's just so dense and like sweet.
Yeah. Well, I never had the tiniest sliver because I loved it too
Well, I
much.
mean,
but
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'll have to see if Mom's willing to, if she even remembers the recipe. I don't think she's made it for a while, but it was really good. So
Well, if you butter her up.
that's right.
Hey, Mom. Beautiful. Okay. So that's Thanksgiving. Any others you want to add?
Yeah, I would just say I really love the traditional dinner. I know some people that are like, we don't want to do turkey this year. We've done it so many times. You only do this once in 365 days. So
Right. I'm with you.
Yeah, go for it. It's what I say. To change. I'm all for changing it up at Christmas and Easter, but Thanksgiving to me, it's called Turkey Day for a reason.
Right. Well, and one thing that we added is when we moved to Seattle area 15 years ago. Wow, that's crazy. We started doing something on Thanksgiving around 11 o'clock. We would invite our friends, who are now our family, essentially, to Soup and Sour Day. And so from 11 until basically the last people left, Pete makes every year a butternut squash soup that has these croutons that have some Gruyere cheese on them and thyme, and they are like unbelievable.
That sounds great.
And then we make whiskey sours that are frozen, so it's like a slushy. And I'm proud to say that many people have botched the timing on their Thanksgiving as a result of having a whiskey sour or two too many. But that has become a favorite
Nice.
tradition. And this year, we're not going to be local. And so we're going to have to figure something out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Well, we've only got about 5 minutes left here. So we got to get to Christmas, but maybe answer this question with both Thanksgiving and Christmas in mind. Is there any foods from the holiday meals growing up that you didn't like, that you still look back and go, ugh, I don't know what they were thinking, whoever Aunt Zelda or whatever brought to the Thanksgiving or Christmas meal that you went, ugh.
Oh, yeah, that disgusting green bean casserole.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say green bean casserole as well.
Like, what is it about, like, the 70s and 80s that, like, everything was made with cream of chicken soup and, like, the weird...
I remember not
beans?
liking that, too, because for some reason it would always be kind of cold.
And mushy.
And mushy. But then there was another one. I had an aunt that used to always make a 3-bean salad that was green beans, kidney beans, and garbanzo beans. And 2 out of 3 ain't bad in that estimation.
Oh.
But those 3 together just really turned me off for some reason. So, yeah.
Okay.
That's never been on my table. I don't know about you.
So I've had that as like a side, like instead of coleslaw, where it's done in like a vinegar and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I've seen it done that way. But that's an interesting one. Okay. Ambrosia.
Ambrosia. I like ambrosia. But you again are not a fruit person. So.
Yeah, so it was the fruit, basically like, do you remember?
It's like cream and fruit together, like pineapples and nuts and stuff.
Yes, and my mother would use like the can of like mixed fruit and mix it with like, I think it's mayonnaise or I don't know.
Mayonnaise, wow. I didn't know mayonnaise was in it.
Oh, it is. Like my gag reflex.
You still don't like it, but I liked it.
Oh my gosh, so.
But
disgusting.
I could see it going wrong for sure.
And it always took on a weird pink hue from mixing in with the maraschino cherries and
that's part of its charm. All right, so Christmas.
Okay,
we got to move on so you don't puke.
Still like the after effects.
Let's think about something that you like.
Gingerbread.
Okay, gingerbread is nice.
Amazing gingerbread cookies.
Mm-hmm.
I go with a softer gingerbread that, like keep them in the Tupperware and they stay nice and soft and they're plump and delicious. And I even love gingerbread cake with like heaps of whipped cream.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Yeah, I remember as a kid with Grandma's help making a gingerbread house. And that was like, oh, I can't wait to eat this. But then, of course, by the time you go around to eat it, it's awful. You really don't want to eat it because it's like dried, beyond recognition.
Yeah.
So go for the fresh gingerbread men and use the house as a playset, I guess.
Totally. Like just buy the $5 one that you can get from like every store now and use that. And by the way, if you have leftover Halloween candy, save it for the gingerbread house. And you can, shingles and fences and logs. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you could do that. I always thought of like gumdrops and candy canes and stuff, so I can't imagine those being given out on Halloween, but you never
Tootsie
know.
Rolls, like firewood.
That makes sense. Never thought of that. So for the main entree for Christmas, what did you folks do?
I'm a big fan of.
And was it the same every year, or did you change it up?
Growing up in my family of origin, it was the same. It was always beef tenderloin.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
I mean, like a big old hunk of really expensive meat, and cooked so it was like butter. For our family now, we mix it up a little bit more, but the kids are also meat eaters, and so they do tend to like that. And keep in mind, and we can talk about this another show, on Christmas Eve, our family does the Feast of the Seven Fish, which is sort of an Italian tradition for some parts of Italy, where we have 7 types of seafood throughout the day on Christmas Eve. So therefore, something that is beef forward.
I'd rather have the ambrosia, but fair enough.
Yeah. So what about you in our 2 minutes that we have left? What's your Christmas thing?
Growing up, I think we had a big family, my grandparents had 8 children, so it was a big family. So we typically had, I think, a turkey and a ham, and or one or the other, depending on if it was just me, my mom, sister, etc. And then as an adult, I kind of started doing roast ducks. And I love that as a Christmas dinner. And one year I did lamb roast. That was really good, too. So I tend to try and change it up now with me making it just to differentiate between
Cornish
Thanksgiving. I love a Cornish game hen. So, yeah, I think those were good options. And they're not as hard to make as you would think, which is nice.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
Interesting. That's so traditional. Fruitcake, where do you stand on it?
I'm pro fruitcake. And I already know that you hate it.
Yeah, because it's got fruit in it.
Yes.
It's like solidified ambrosia.
Now, I the old joke is that no fruitcake is ever made. It's just been passed around for generations.
But I subscribe to.
If you get a fresh fruitcake, it's fantastic.
You and my mother loves fruitcake.
I just think, like I said, if it's fresh, if it's not like a decade old, then the candied fruits in there, I think it's great. And they used to do an ice cream with those candied fruits that I'm blanking on the name of.
Tartufo?
No. It'll come to me.
It'll be something we could talk about in the regrets next week.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right. Well, hey, are you hungry yet?
I'm starving.
I know. So perfect timing. Now we get to double down on this hunger feeling and talk to Vance.
Sounds good.
I wonder what he'll have to say about best holiday foods.
Oh, I bet he's got all kinds of opinion about Thanksgiving foods for sure.
I'm sure he does. All right. Well, keep listening, and then you can hear what he has to say when we welcome Vance Dingfelder to the show.
Stay tuned.
Whether it's fly fishing or French pastry, we all have something that makes our tail wag. Involuntary and instinctive, it's sparked by excitement, inspired by purpose, and it speaks to who we are. I'm Stacey Heller of Stacey Connects. I lead clients to the place that makes their tail wag. As a creative director, I bring ideas to life. As a podcast producer, I give ideas a voice. Stacey Connects. It's my superpower. If you want to connect with me, Stacey Heller, go to staceyconnects.com. Welcome back to Don't Ask Me to Talk, and we are back in time to talk with our show sponsor, the man, the myth, the legend, Vance Dingfelder.
That's right. We're talking about the king of the Knish, the lord of the sandwich, the duke of the deli himself. That's right. Vance Dingfelder from Dingfelder's Delicatessen in Capitol Hill in Seattle. Welcome, Vance.
Hey, Eric, Stacey. So great to be with you guys today.
Awesome to talk to you on this special holiday food edition of the show. We didn't plan it, but nobody better to talk to about holiday food than a guy that runs a great deli and also a catering service, Nourish Catering.
Yeah, well, and
which I neglected to mention in the intro, so shame on me. But I know that you're going to be out there doing holiday parties and stuff, so you're the man to talk to.
I mean, holiday parties they're already booking very quickly.
Well, wait, before you start, I have one bone to pick, and that is that talking about holiday foods first and then talking to you, we're normally hungry at the end of the episode, and now I'm hungry already.
True enough.
So be kind as you like.
Holiday foods.
Yeah.
I mean, what holiday? Are we talking about Hanukkah? Or are we going to talk about Thanksgiving?
Well,
probably my favorite holiday.
Stacey and I have talked about Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay.
So, for you to give a little insight on Jewish holidays as well would be wonderful. And if you have any thoughts on favorite foods for Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's or any holiday that you like to talk about, by all means.
Okay, so I think next week we'll talk about Christmas.
Fair enough.
On Thanksgiving?
Because Christmas is a whole thing. Okay, I've been exposed to some incredible Christmas holidays. But Thanksgiving, on the other hand, is a wonderful holiday. Now, we can get into the negativity side of it, of course.
No.
However, around my table, we would always invite people that didn't have a place to go. And addition to that, when we started the meal, and I used to be horrible. I mean, there have been some Thanksgivings where we started eating at like 9:00. Okay,
in the morning or in the evening?
At night.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
those turkeys could take a while.
Over the last 10 years or so, I've gotten really good at the timing factor.
Okay.
And
it's tough when you're first starting out making Thanksgiving dinner, just knowing how long things are going to take, for sure.
It's really timing.
Yeah.
I cooked Thanksgiving dinner once on an oven when we first moved into our place in 90, I want to say 6 or 7, and it was, or maybe even it was 98. It came with this old stove, right? It was an electric stove, and it had a microwave up on top and the clock in it, the whole thing. It was all one big giant unit that was given away on, let's make a deal.
Oh my gosh.
Right? But so this Thanksgiving, I only had the 2 small burners.
Oh, wow. So you're
right? Both big burners were out. I couldn't get the burners.
You might as well be cooking with a hot plate.
Right.
Getting a new stove. It's like working on a hot plate. Exactly.
Yeah.
Except, at least they were separated.
Right.
And I had the oven. Right. So
true.
And I made an amazing Thanksgiving dinner.
Of course you did.
2 burners and an oven. And at the end of the day, you need basically, besides your turkey, right? And you need, some vegetables, right? A bunch of vegetables, some sausage for your stuffing, right? You got to get sausage for the stuffing. Mm-hmm. And I like to use the Sagey Jimmy Dean sausage.
Oh.
And in my stuffing, yes, I've evolved into different types of stuffing and using red. But I got to say, for most of my career as a homebody making food, and I've cooked my entire life, it's nice to do, bread cubes and chicken stock and the whole thing from scratch. And it works very well. My grandmother made stuffing from scratch. I like Pepperidge Farm stuffing.
I do too.
Okay, I like to mix the cubed and the not cubed, the kind of crumbs.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I mix one of each, right? But I saute my celery and onions and a bunch of sage, fresh sage, and thyme. And a very important ingredient in everything that you cook is butter. And the reason I'm bringing up butter, it's National Butter Day, Stace, and I just wanted to do that. But you put butter in everything that you make for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
you
do.
You use butter when you're basting the bird. You use butter and flour when you make your gravy. Your butter is in the stuffing. It's really the ingredient. If you make carrots, right, and you do like a brandied carrot where you do butter and brown sugar and toss the carrots in it and with a little tarragon, and then throw some brandy on it and flame it at the end. That's wonderful. When you make your candied, I do candied yams with spiced pecans and apples, and I use Granny Smith apples. And I love sweet potatoes. Okay? Ever since I was a kid, it's one of my favorite things. And I would bake the sweet potatoes with butter beforehand, right? Mm-hmm. And slice your apples and candy the pecans. Candy the pecans first in butter, brown sugar, again, right?
It is.
Maple syrup, right? And then your warm spices. You throw some cinnamon, some cloves, some nutmeg, and you candy the pecans and then take the baked, skinned sweet potatoes that aren't that are still al dente, chunk them up, throw them in. But before you do that, you saute the apples with the pecans. And I like to use Granny Smith apples, right? Granny Smiths with the pecans. Then throw in the sweet potatoes that are baked, big chunks, and you toss it. But the most important ingredient is the butter and the sugar. And that's where I'm going to. Everything you do for everything on the table, it has butter in it. And if you can substitute butter, but I'm the type of person, I like butter. Clarified butter is good, but the flavor of butter and what it does in food, especially on Thanksgiving, is invaluable.
Well, and as a little kid, when you used to have the bread basket that had, pumpkin bread and the rolls and all the different things, and you would frost it with butter.
Well, and then you have, you've got to have softened butter on the table, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, so what about mashed potatoes? Excuse me.
My favorite.
How do you have mashed potatoes, right?
Yeah.
You got to have copious amounts of butter.
It's true.
And heavy cream, salt and pepper. Period. That's it. That's all you need, and it makes a wonderful mashed potato.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to play with it, you can play with it, but personally, it's the gravy, right? Now the gravy. My gravy, is basically the drippings from the pan. I take the neck and gizzards with some carrot, celery, the skin from the onions that I chopped up for the stuffing, and the celery is the ends from the celery, and you boil the stock all day, and you keep replenishing the water as your turkey's cooking, right? And then after the turkey is done, 3.5, 4 hours later, you take the turkey out and you throw your stuffing in, you throw your potatoes in, you throw everything in the oven to warm it up. You let the turkey rest. But the gravy is the drippings from the pan and the stock that you make. You take them, you skim the fat, you take the butter and some of the fat, and for every tablespoon of butter or oil, you put a tablespoon of flour. To make a few quarts, you probably need, I'm going to say 8 tablespoons of flour and 8 tablespoons of butter, and you'll be able to make enough gravy for 15 to 20 people, right?
So,
but the butter, again, is
question, very important question. Does Dingfelder's perchance stock that people can buy? Because I happen to know that, you make a lot of kosher chickens and you do a lot of stuff. So do you stock up on stock that maybe we could buy?
So we've done Thanksgiving. We did it the first year we opened, and it was literally, it was what I just said to you. And then last year we did it. This year, we decided that we were going to give everybody Thanksgiving off. Last year we were open from 11 to 5.
Yep.
And this year we decided, we've been working so hard. We've been short-staffed. And to give everybody Thanksgiving off so that they can be with their families is something that we made the determination to do. So, because Thanksgiving isn't really that big of a holiday. However, we will do it, to answer your question. We'll be opening up in the next few weeks to allowing people back in. We will do Thanksgiving next year. What also helped to make the decision is that there's a big issue with turkey. I can't buy any turkey. I got some last week, but I can't buy turkey. Again, it's out of stock. They don't know when it's coming back in.
Wow.
There's no turkey available wholesale.
You heard it here, folks.
Because everything went retail, right? In fact, my turkey breast has gone up from $4.75 a pound raw to $7.95.
Wow.
Right?
I have a feeling there's in the next few weeks there's going to be a drop off in demand for turkey.
It's almost as much as pastrami.
That's crazy.
Which is insane, right? So that's because there's no turkey. And it's also putting pressure on chicken, right? Because people are going to go to chicken or hams. the price of hams. Hams used to be $2 a pound, right? It's really interesting what's happening with the price of food and what's going on with that. So we're going to do a Thanksgiving for a friend of ours who's a friend of yours, who gave me this person who's from lives up in Woodinville, and we're going to do a Thanksgiving dinner for them for 45 people.
Wow.
And they're going to pick it up on Wednesday. And I did it because it was one of those, please, 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 can you, right? And we'll do something else. Like they were like, can you do prime rib? And I'm like, yeah, I can do prime rib, sure. So we're going to do prime rib, but I'm going to surprise her and do a bunch of the fixings on the side.
Nice.
Right? I might even, I'll offer her like our chickens. We do kosher chickens, right? And their only thing was no pork. So I was like, okay, no pork.
All
I'll
right.
do, kosher chicken and prime rib with a bunch of fixings on the side,
All right.
And green, yeah. But
so,
anyway.
well, I have a question. So
I hope I have an answer.
we only have a couple minutes, and one of the things that Eric and I talked about when we were talking about our favorite holiday food is I suggested that part of what makes a food your favorite is like the memories and tradition around it. Would you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So in addition to salt, pepper, and butter, other really important ingredients are the memories and whatever that make it taste better, right?
Oh, I can remember specific Thanksgiving meals that I've had, and a few of them have been monumental, right? And they all weren't, they were when I was a kid, right? They were at my grandmother's, they were at my mother's. My mother did it, my grandparents did it. My best friend growing up, Peter Figueredo, his aunt did it, and I'll never forget. And and I loved holidays with them because I would spend Christmas with them. But this Thanksgiving, I spent it with them, and he was the fire chief, and his uncle, and they were the Devlins, a real good Irish family, right? And but one of the girls, there was 3 daughters, and one of the girls, the youngest girl, made cheesecake.
Okay.
For one of the desserts. But the mashed potatoes, it was the first time I'd ever seen bacon put on a turkey, right? And dessert comes out, and dessert's always a big deal on Thanksgiving. Pumpkin pie. It's my favorite.
Right.
But how often do you have pumpkin pie? Right? Speaking of which, we're doing pumpkin cheesecake at the deli.
Fantastic. Combining 2 great memories in one.
Exactly.
Oh, this is going to be good. You're going to laugh. So the cheesecake comes out for dessert, right? Oh, the cheesecake. And even then I was into food and the whole thing. I must have been, I don't know, I was probably, I want to say 17, 16, something like that. And the cheesecake comes out, and I eat the cheesecake, and I look around, and I go, I think Caroline used salt instead of sugar.
Ruh-roh.
Wow.
But yeah, everybody was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, that's
the poor
funny.
thing went running off crying.
Well, yeah.
So pumpkin cheesecake with a candied pecan graham cracker crust.
Sounds
pumpkin
great.
Spices and pumpkin.
All right. Sounds like I have to
Really
go to.
good.
Sounds like I have to go to Dingfelder's and try it.
And you're not using salt in this, right?
Oh, there's a little bit.
But not instead of sugar.
Don't be like Caroline.
Maybe we do a sweet potato cheesecake.
Ooh.
That could be interesting.
All right.
Ooh.
Maybe it'll become a new favorite holiday food that we can talk about.
Hey, listen, we do matzorota. That's a
Oh,
thing.
don't get me started. That's for next week. And-
we didn't even get to talk about Hanukkah, so we'll have to do that.
Well, Hanukkah's it's the same day as Christmas, I think, right there.
Exactly.
So
but
perfect.
so many great foods associated with Hanukkah.
Oh, Hanukkah. Well, it's about frying.
Well, I mean, you got to love some latkes.
Oh my God, it's insane. Like it's legendary.
So next week on Thanksgiving,
How many latkes we have to fry? It's ridiculous how many locusts we fry.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Thousands.
Oh, I bet.
Great. It's like what? It's legendary. Everybody that has worked at Dingfelder's knows the wrath of Hanukkah.
Oh, I'm sure. So now that we're even more hungry, thanks, Vance.
Thank you, Stace.
For doing that.
Have a beautiful afternoon.
Thank
you.
Sir. And now we have to figure out what we're going to talk about next week.
You'll figure it out.
I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Spin the wheel.
We will. All right. Take care, Vance.
Take it easy, Eric.
Talk to you next
Love
time.
You guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Here we go. It'll be awkward if it's something totally random.
This could be related, this might actually be perfect for Thanksgiving because people will have already made their meals and then, they're going to be looking forward to what do we do after this? 5 ingredient recipes.
Like ingredients that basically have 5 or less ingredients that are easy to make. So there you go. Turkey sandwich. Done. Show's
Boom.
over. All right.
Fantastic.
Well, so, hey, everybody. Have a great week. And we'll talk to you next week on Thanksgiving. Woohoo.
I love it.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.